Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Supriya Rao, and today from Health and Nutrition series, I will be talking on resistant starch. So, resistant starch is a very popular topic these days, and many people have experimented with it and seen major improvements by adding it to their diet. Both human and animal studies have confirmed a number of legitimate benefits of resistant starch, like improved insulin sensitivity and hunger control, also boosting immunity. So, carbohydrates, depending on their structure, they are divided into simple and complex. So, simple can be either single molecule, example glucose, fructose, and galactose, or two molecules like maltose, lactose, and sucrose. And then we have complex carbohydrates where we have starch, fiber, and glycogen. We have talked about fiber in detail in the last video, and today we will talk about resistant starch. It is a type of starch, and glycogen here, it is a storage form of the glucose or other simple sugars. So excessive sugar in the body is stored in the form of glycogen in the liver or in muscles. So coming to starch, again depending on the rate of digestion, they are divided as rapidly digestible, slowly digestible, and resistant starch. So rapidly digestible, they even rapidly absorb in the body, thereby causing elevation of blood glucose, that is hyperglycemia. Then there is high insulin secretion because of it, leading to hypoglycemia. Then you feel hungry and then you tend to overeat. And coming to slowly digestible, they slowly release glucose in the blood, thereby there is low insulin response and you feel continued satiety. That is, you don't feel that you're hungry very frequently. And coming to the main topic, that is resistant starch, these are starch they do not digest in the body, or they partially digest, unlike the rapidly or the slowly digestible starch. So they act somewhere like a soluble fiber. Okay. So resistant starch, they do not digest in small intestine, but they do digest partially in the large intestine in the form of fermentation. So there is colonic bacterial fermentation, which leads to the formation of short chain fatty acids, especially the butyrate. Okay, and because it is fermented, there is increased satiety level. So important reason why we have to include resistant starch is that it encourages or it increases the number of good bacteria and it discourages or decreases the number of bad bacteria in our gut. So how these good bacteria are increased? It's because of the formation of butyrate by these resistant starch. So this butyrate is a fuel to the colon cells as well as it's a food to the good bacteria. So if you give good food to the gut, you will develop good bacteria and thereby your gut health will be improved. So the benefits of resistant starch, it decreases the incidences of metabolic disorders like diabetes and obesity. It also decreases the inflammatory disorders in the gut, especially because these resistant starch, they maintain or they balance the pH level of the colon cells. Okay, thereby you can prevent few inflammatory disorders like ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, and diverticulitis. And also, these resistant starch, they discourage the formation of any precursor cells in the colon, thereby it prevents the formation of cancer, especially the colon cancer, and other motility disorders like irritable bowel syndrome, diarrhea, even constipation. And also these resistant starch helps to increase the absorption of essential minerals from the diet like calcium, magnesium, zinc, iron, copper, etc. And also we know that most of the serotonin is formed or secreted in the gut. So if your colon is healthy, if your gut is healthy, you secrete more such good hormones like serotonin, which um, helps you to feel better, and there will be sense of well-being. Coming to the types of resistant starch, so resistant starch, they are divided into four types. Okay, RS1, 2, 3, and 4. So RS1, mainly such resistant starch is seen in the whole grain. As you can see, the endosperm part of the whole grain is very starchy, but it is prevented uh, in getting digested by the cell wall of the grain, that is a bran layer. So it won't readily get digested, unlike a refined grain. Coming to RS2, here we have examples like maize starch, raw potatoes, green bananas, okay, raw green bananas. So these kind of starches, they need some amount of heating in order to activate the resistant starch in them. So they fall in RS2 category. Coming to retrograded starch, so here example can be a rice, grain, or even raw potatoes. Here what happens is, once the grain is cooked, okay, and then cooled. So during the cooling process, these resistant starches are formed, and that's why these kind of food can be taken by people with metabolic disorders once they are cooled rather than taking cooked form. So the last type is RS4. Here it is chemically modified starch that doesn't occur in nature, but they are created to resist digestion. Maybe it's like synthetic form like pill or some powder where they just put in water, stir and have. So it's a synthetically formed resistant starch. But even though it has a lot of benefits, we have to know the demerits of resistant starch. So resistant starch is highly fermentable. That means you will have problems of gas and bloating if you do not know how to take it in the diet. And especially if you take resistant starch in the form of RS4, that is synthetically formed, it may not provide maximum cancer protection, because these kind of substance or supplements, they tend to ferment in the proximal part of the colon, and the last part of the colon, till it reaches the last part, it will be already taken by the body. So as we know, cancer most of the time happen in the end part or the distal part of the colon. So this may not help. So it's always good to go for a natural source of resistant starch. And the last point is resistant starch, they cannot work in isolation. So you need to have a balanced diet. That means you need to have other carbohydrates, and you need to have other fibers, then protein, in order to get the maximum benefits of these resistant starch. And one of the important reason of demerit is, this is only a fermentable food. It is not going to give you energy. So you need to have other kinds of carbohydrates as well in order to get energy. And few examples for resistant starch is whole grain in potatoes, especially the cooled ones in a form of mashed potatoes or potato salad. Also, overnight oats is a very good source of resistant starch compared to the normal cooked oats. And also we have raw green banana. So this was about resistant starch, and I hope you liked the video. Thank you.